means da-da-da-da-da-da. Yes, I did that. And you too would do it for a check. I was an employee. And I was going to get employee of the month. And that's on period.
Whatever that was.
Sorry, y'all. I just love yapping.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my
Welcome
God.
back to our podcast.
That was like perfect.
Guess who we have
Hello.
with us? What's your
I'm
name?
nervous.
What do you do? And one fun fact.
Well, my name is Nikki. I am a farmer here in the council. And fun fact about me is that I can move my ears up and down.
I didn't even know
It's
that.
the way I honestly forgot about that. Yes, but we have our special guest here with us today. Hopefully you enjoyed
Yay.
today's episode as well.
Nice.
So today's episode, what we have prepared is Nikki's just we're not really strangers.
Yes.
So Nikki's just gonna ask us the questions that she picks.
Yes. It is the self-love pack. So I'm gonna ask like 3 to 5 questions, depending on how long we like answer and discuss the questions. There's like past, present, and future. So I'm gonna ask about 3 past questions and then 3 present. And then we're gonna go to the future. And then this way we also get to know each other a little better.
And while we're doing questions and stuff like that, pretty much all we're doing is working on upgrading our gear for the Ender Dragon fight. Collecting Ender
Oh,
Pearls.
yes.
So sorry, girl. And getting the farm up and basically like decorating the house a little bit because we haven't really worked on it.
So the first question is, growing up, when did you feel the most different from other kids?
Being
God
Asian
damn
was
it.
mine. I'm actually being
agree.
so for real, because so the school that I went to was predominantly, I won't say predominantly black, but honestly like a lot of the kids were white too. So it was just mainly, it was basically just black and white kids, and then there was like me and I think like 1 or 2 other Asian kids, and then that was pretty much it. Like you really didn't see like that much diversity at my school. So like it was also so funny too though, because when growing up, my mom like told me this like a little later, like when I had grown up, but I thought I was actually like born here in the US. Like I thought I was an American kid, and she was like, no.
Just said, oh, I don't know about that.
And I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know where I am.
It like makes sense that like I was treated a little differently.
Honestly, same. My school was predominantly like Hispanic and black too. And like, was it elementary school? I didn't know English. So I don't remember not knowing English, but I remember like not having that many friends. Like from kindergarten to like maybe 2nd grade. And 2nd grade I think is when I got better at English. But I would always get in trouble for some reason, because I don't know. I don't think I was a bad kid. I think I just like had lack of impulse control. So I would like do, like, I don't know. I was just I remember throwing an eraser to a kid as a joke, and he laughed too. But then I got in trouble. All I did was throw a little eraser, and they made me do a little clip, like those little clip downs. I went from green to yellow. Oh my god, I wanted to cry so bad.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't say it's the same as y'all's experience, but it was sort of like in a way similar, like in elementary school, because at least like, what's it called? Through elementary school and then middle school, there was a lot of Latinos. And, you know, I was obviously extremely grateful that I had people of like essentially my own kind around me, but they were all Mexican. And not like Southern Mexican, where it was like close to almost being like similar cultures with Central Americans. It was a whole different sort of like culture, if that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
remember being like so ashamed of it, because for some reason everyone who I knew back then was always like, oh, I'm Mexican. Oh my god, really? Me too. And then if it was like, if you said you weren't Mexican, it was almost like in a way shunned upon. And I don't know why to this day it was like that, but I'm assuming, you know, stuff comes from people's parents, obviously, with the way they're raised, the way they're treated. And then even now, the way I see some of those people, how they treat like Central Americans or even South Americans too, it's so like not colorist, but also not racist, but it's almost like they're looking down upon us, if that makes sense. Because even like some Mexican people that I've been really good friends with, there's some where I've had to cut off. Oh my god, that's a creeper. There's some where I've had to cut off because there's what's it called? Oaxaca, which still has a lot of indigenous culture still like present to this day, which I think is so cool because not many countries still have their indigenous roots still with them because obviously colonization. And for some reason people will use like they'll be like, "Oh, you look like Oaxacan or something," and use it as an insult, being like, "Oh, you look indigenous." Like, why? And I
So is
never
Oaxacan like
understood.
a? Is it like
It's a
a
state in
ethnicity?
Mexico.
Oh, it's a state in
Sort of in
Mexico.
a way. They're indigenous in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just depends like what part you are from. I can't speak too much on it because I mean, I'm not Mexican nor am I from Oaxaca. I just know there's a lot of people there that are still practicing their indigenous culture and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will use that as an insult, being like, "Oh, like you look Oaxacan," or "Why are you acting Oaxacan?" and this, and that, or, and I'm just like, there's no reason to be putting that down. Like, at least they're still practicing their indigenous culture. At least they
Right.
have community. And I feel like growing up, for some reason, it was like they almost looked at us the same. Because not only that, there is like a whole slur. I wouldn't say like a slur, but it's just a word that it's very commonly used in El Salvador. But with the way that other countries have used it against us, it sounds like a slur at some point.
Mm.
And then it's like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? We're literally the same, like, species, I guess. I don't know. It's like we're literally the
That's
same
crazy.
thing. Like, I don't know if it makes
For real
you
though.
our region.
Yeah. Lately I have been realizing how ignorant I am about like South America, because like I feel like not a lot of people talk about how different like cultures from the different countries there are. Like when you think of Asia, like you can kind of tell difference because like everybody talks about the differences between like China and like Japan and Korean stuff and like Southeast Asian. But I don't hear a lot of talk about like different cultures, like because I mostly hear about like Mexican culture. I don't hear
Yeah.
much about like El Salvador and like Peru and stuff. I don't really know like the difference between that because I feel like not a lot of people really talk about it.
And
Or
it's
like
crazy
I don't
because
know. Yeah, they all come together. They all come
dude,
together to Mexico. So like
no,
yeah. But now that I'm realizing like South America is pretty big. Like I don't.
it is big.
Yeah, so obviously there's gonna be like differences, and it's not like all the same. Cause like the other day I was like, you were like you're also craving Mexican food, and I was like, oh, just go to your kitchen, cause I thought they were like all the same type of food, but obviously it's not.
Like though, it did kind of rub me the wrong way because I was like, we've known each other for so long. Like, I don't know, I would have assumed you knew the difference, but then I also thought about it and I'm like, my culture doesn't really get presented that much. And
Yeah,
if it
they really don't.
and if it does, somehow there's always someone that's gonna be like, isn't that like Mexican culture? And I'm like, no, it's similar, but it's not the same thing. Like we have horchata, and then Mexico has horchata. Our horchata is like made of spices.
Oh, see, I
They're
didn't know that.
like
I didn't
rice
know
and
that.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
And
because like
then for
the only
us,
thing I see is about Mexico.
yeah, and I feel like it's just the people we're around are mostly Mexican.
I know. I keep calling
So
everybody Mexican too, and I feel bad, but like I just like don't think about it as much as I should.
yeah, because it's really crazy though, because now that you actually do bring that up, I remember having people like ask me like where I'm from and this, and that. And I'd be like, oh, like, well, I mean, I was born in California, but my parents are from El Salvador. And the amount of people that I've had like ask me, oh, is that like a state in Mexico? And I'm like, no, that's a whole other country. Like, what do you mean that's a state in Mexico?
That's crazy.
And I
Yeah.
was just like, why would you assume I'm Mexican though, when there's like, I don't know, like 20 different Latin American countries, even some where you don't even speak Spanish, like Haiti. Well, actually, no. Haiti, I think, is actually more like Caribbean, but they do speak like Spanish and I think like French, I believe.
Oh, really?
I
I
think
have
so.
I have a friend who's
Yep.
Haitian, and I think they also have like a Haitian language. I forgot what it's called. It might just be called Haitian, but I heard him speak it before.
Haitian Creole.
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
No, yeah. Because then you have like places like Argentina. Like let's say for example, I'm talking with someone with from Argentina. Their slang could be a whole different meaning in like Salvadorian slang. Because even in Puerto Rico, I've noticed this too, because I did have like a Puerto Rican like coworker once.
Hmm.
And to us in El Salvador, bicho, that means like a boy. Well, depending on like, you know, what you change the last letter, bicho or bicha. So bicho
Yeah.
would be boy, bicha would be a girl. Meanwhile, in Puerto Rico, it's a whole different meaning that I won't get into.
Oh, is it like a promiscuous?
Peen.
Huh?
Peen.
Oh,
Peen, like pee-pee?
Yes.
Oh, okay, pee-pee.
So it's like really like it's funny sometimes because it's like if you don't know the slang and you say it, people are gonna look at you like you're crazy because they're gonna be like, "What do you mean you're talking about peen? Mean that peen over there?" And I'm like, "No, I meant that kid over there."
I'm dead. Yeah, I feel like it's not talked a lot about how like diverse South America really is, because even I'm ignorant to it, even though I have like friends that are from like different parts of South America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause it's crazy though, cause in El Salvador we do have some like what's it called similarities to like Mexico, but it's mostly southern Mexico.
I see.
And
Yeah.
we also have similarities to like Caribbean places where they like consume a lot of plantain and then eat like beans and rice like mixed in together. Because
Hmm.
those are very like normal dishes like over in like Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic. And then it's just very like you don't realize it until someone looks at you
Well,
wrong for being a whole different like Latin like ethnicity or whatnot. I think we've all elaborated on our questions. I think I just next
oh,
question.
yeah. What's the
okay.
next question?
Who did you compare yourself to most often as a kid, and why?
Honestly, it really depends. But this is like in the past, right?
Yeah, as a teen.
Mm, As a teen.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, we're gonna get into my eating disorder era. Unfortunately,
Why are we going into eating disorder?
because that's literally literally all throughout high school. That's what it was. Like I'm being so for real. It was so bad, and I don't think anyone really noticed at the time either.
But you developed it because of the person that you looked up to?
It was well, it mostly stemmed from like the stress of my quinceañera, cause when you get fitted for your dress, you get fitted for it like around like 6 to 8 months before the actual quinceañera. And if it's like if you go over or too under your weight, the dress won't fit and then you won't have enough time to get it altered or get a new one in. So during that time, I was really trying to make sure that I wasn't losing too much weight and I wasn't gaining too much weight, or else, you know, the dress was over. I couldn't fit into it. I wouldn't get a new one in time. And then even if I tried to get a new one in time, it would have been extra money on my parent.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it kind of started from there in a way, but I didn't really realize it until I was like essentially in a really bad like relationship at that point. And this person, which I mean, it was high school. I still went back like I don't know how many times. I still look at myself and I'm like, you're such an idiot. But I'm like, I was still like a kid.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's like how do you even handle that? You know what I mean?
No, yeah. And I at one point felt like really good about my body and like how I looked and whatnot. I was like, I'm at like a stage in my life where I feel really good about myself. Like every time I look in the mirror, I'm not like depressed or anything about it. Like I'm like, I look good, I feel good.
She said Bunny
Mhm.
T.
And being in that relationship, it was being compared to his female friends or his celebrity crushes. One of them being, what's that one girl's name? Malu Trevejo or whatever her name is. She was one of the people who I was constantly compared to throughout
Oh,
the
that's the
relationship.
Oh, okay.
And it like essentially like damaged me so bad that I was like, cause she was really skinny, but she also was very like curvy for her age. Obviously, we were like around the same age, I think, when she started blowing up. So it was, oh, we're both 14. Why don't I look like her at 14? Or like, why don't I look like her at 17?
Mm-hmm.
So eventually it was just getting harder and harder to even like do anything without feeling like sick of myself or feeling sick with who I'm looking at in the mirror.
Yeah.
And it like essentially just damaged my whole perception of me. Because even now, it's not even me comparing myself to her. It's just knowing that I don't look as, like, essentially as good looking, or I don't have that physique, or I don't have this, and that to look like what society thinks is, like, okay. And
Yeah.
even with, like, the alt girls and whatnot, because I am very alternative. I will say that. I can't even say no. I literally look like a poster girl for an alternative girl. But
Period.
it's like I look at other girls who are also Latina and are also alternative, and I'm like, why can't I pull it off the way they do? When I put it on, I feel like I look like an absolute poser. And then when they put it on, I feel like it looks so natural on them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it just kind of spirals down from there. And I try not to do it so much, but when you're kind of already in that way, like damaged, and you've been like that for so long, it's so hard to undo it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like habit. And like it could get addicting too, especially when you see results. You're like, oh my god, like it's working. And the thing with eating disorders is like it works kind of fast because you're literally like starving yourself.
No, and that's literally what had messed me up even more. And I didn't. So many of those things triggered so many other things, like my anxiety. It was already like bad as a kid, but as I got older, it got even worse in a way because I was already so self-conscious about how I look, and then it turned into, oh, like if I say things that way or if I do things that way, like everyone's gonna notice, like someone's gonna say something. I'm gonna like someone's gonna do something because I'm doing things a certain way.
Yeah.
And it made me more conscious about it and more like anxious about it. Like, oh, if I did this wrong, like I'm gonna get in trouble for it. I'm gonna get scolded for it, or I'm gonna get compared to someone else who probably did it better than me.
Yeah. It's like the social anxiety part of it. Yeah. I always compared myself to K-pop idols because because they be the same age and like so
But
successful and
they
like
be so,
pretty.
you know, and I caught myself doing that lately too. But I'm like, no, because at least I'm not in a company that doesn't care about my well-being, which it's sad to say that, but it's very true. From like
Yeah.
horror stories you hear from people who like luckily like managed to leave that industry, all the eating disorders or the mistreatment.
Yes. And then like I don't know, also like I think during when K-pop rose, like a lot of people fetishized like Asians and then
I do remember that.
yeah, and then I was like trying to be like them because I was like, oh my god, people love like girls that look like them. So I would like try their makeup out and stuff, and it would just not look right on me because I don't look like them. And you know, they have plastic surgery, but like people swore up and down that they didn't, and they were all natural. So I'm like, oh, why don't I look like that naturally? And also like I was so you know, like when we're kids, we're really tan.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, damn, I'm like dark and like ugly.
They
I
were
don't know.
always very pale.
Yeah, and they were talented, and like I was just like I don't know, I was just like a regular 14-year-old kid. Also, the people I kind of hung out with, um, they I don't know, Honestly, I don't remember much as a kid. Kind of blocked it all out.
It really be like that. It really do.
But I feel like I surrounded myself with some very like negative people.
I was gonna say questionable.
Questionable also. And I remember like thinking, oh, they're so cool for like doing all these drugs and stuff, and I wasn't doing it. So I was like, okay, maybe I should try. And like one of our friends, was really into that type of stuff. I think you
Ooh.
might remember who.
Yeah.
And so I remember like, well, I don't know if this is like kind of like comparing myself, but like I would often they would often like leave me to go do drugs, smoke some Mary Jane. So I was like, so
Mm,
one day I was like, you know what? Let me just do like you think peer pressure is not real, but low key it kind of is.
it
And
is, especially when you get
I
isolated so many times. Sorry, I was exploring your little thing.
I was okay. Um, but I felt left out, and it was either druggies or like Korea booze that I was hanging out with. So I was like, I don't know, it was just a weird time.
No, but I get what you mean. It was like you had two different friend groups. And it was like in order to even be cool in either one of them, you had to do certain things, which led you to compare yourself to the people that were doing those things.
And honestly, I let some of them be racist to me because I was like, I don't know. To me, it was like not a big deal because like I don't know, there wasn't that
Which is
many
so
Asians,
crazy
and all
because
the
the dark
Asians wouldn't
humor
care.
stuff was so crazy though. Because they
Yeah,
call it dark humor and then they'd be like racist straight to your face.
literally. But it was like, I don't know. I feel like Asian racism is kind of strange because it's not really negative. Like
That's
saying
how I
it.
feel seeing people talk about Latinos like now in this day and climate, talking about, oh, they're like working too hard, they're stealing our jobs. And I'm like, okay, why don't you take them?
Why don't you work harder? Like,
That's what I'm saying. We're looking for a hustle. That's all it is.
I actually compare myself to my sister a lot because she was like the prettier one, like always. And like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of like boys always like talk, like boys liked her more. But growing up, she compared herself to me because I was known as like the book smart one. Not saying she's dumb, but like things just like came easier to me. But
Mm.
I was like jealous of her beauty. And I was like, oh my god, why don't I, like, we're siblings, why don't I look like her? You know?
Mm.
And she would always like have boyfriends and stuff, and I think I only dated like one person in high school. I didn't really start dating people until after high school. I'd always hear people say like, oh, Emily, I know her, she's like she's the pretty one. Not, well, they wouldn't say that, but that's how it felt like they talked about it.
And I think that's so real
I
for
mean,
you to say because like that's why I mess with Ricki about. It's not like what she actually said, it's what like it felt like she said, which is why I mess with her so much.
Wait, what?
But that is like how it is, like it's like how people make you feel rather than what they actually like did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although people really did the things that I heard.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that was my life.
well, before we get into that, no, I can actually relate because
Yeah.
I looked up to my sister the most. That's because like she's like the next, because I'm the youngest, right? The age gap between me and my sister is 7 years.
Hmm.
And so like I actually like briefly mentioned this to Ricki. The sibling dynamic that I grew up with was more similar to the experience of like an only child than like a younger sibling. That's because like by the time that like I was like in middle school or whatever, like they were basically already like going to college and stuff like that, so they weren't like around the house as much.
Hmm.
I looked up to her like a lot because she's the type of person to like put her mind to what she wants. Like if she wants it, she'll like try and get it. And so like we came from like a family that had like a really bad like financial situation. Like we were basically like poor. Like we would always like worry like what's the next thing that we're gonna eat, you know, or like we can't like get hurt or anything because like we don't have insurance, and stuff and yada yada yada. But so like after she finished like with community college, she ended up being able to go to an Ivy League school. Cornell.
Hey.
Hello.
Cornell, like
She
Cornell.
said Cornell University.
Yes, the Ivy League.
I keep getting ads for them, and I'm like, I am not your target demographic. I'm sorry.
And then like also like her dream was always to like be a doctor because well, this gets into like another backstory, but like basically like I got injured, like I got a burn, like a deep burn from it was me trying to help set the table, and I got like really like hot like boiling soup all over my arm. It was like literally like just off the stove. Like someone moved it to the, like a counter, and then I tried to move it to the table, but I spilled it on my arm. And then like
Did that leave a scar?
surprisingly no. And since we didn't have insurance or anything, like we kind of just like go to like the ER or anything because like, we really like couldn't like afford it or anything. But it was at a time like my dad was working for this guy that he knew, and he asked like his boss for like a favor basically, and they had a friend who basically like looked at me for free, like helped like with like the burns and everything, and so that's like basically what inspired her to go into like healthcare and all that, because like she saw like there are more like way more families than like just the ones that we had, like just me and like the people that we knew that didn't have access to healthcare just like us. So anyways, she's graduating from med school next year. She graduates in the summer. Right now she's just been like on rotation everywhere. But anyways, like I always looked up to her, and she was always my role model. It's actually really funny because I had this like school project to like basically like it had like basic questions like we're not really strangers, where it's like fun facts about yourself or whatever. And one of the questions was like, who's your role model? And I made it my sister.
Oh.
Yeah. But also like it was like not like a very like healthy thing, like that I feel like my parents kind of made it like that, just because how it was like, oh, look like where like your sister came from, and like what all the things that she was able to do like, with the situation, and then like compared to like me, and, like,
It's always when parents compare you with siblings, I fear.
and I think like not only did they do that, but like I think because like they started that like also like had my own mental start doing that to myself, where it's like I need to like start being better, just because like I could be doing all this greater stuff and yada yada yada. But like I still looked up for her for like what she did and like who she was, because like I just admire like people that can go out and just like, oh, I know that I want this, or I want to achieve this, like let me try and do that, and I try to still embody that. I still think she is my role model to this day, just because of like how far she's gone. Like she's met a lot of really cool people, like, and she's in the Navy now. She's gonna be a doctor. She's actually gonna
In
be
the Navy.
She's gonna be a neurosurgeon. Kinda
She said, "Big
crazy.
General sister."
Yo,
Dang,
yeah.
she really reached high.
She stood on business.
For real.
I applaud
And
her.
like she's married now. She's just got her first home this year. She she has her house in Virginia with her husband.
Period.
Yada yada yada. So yeah, I think like me looking up to her was like both like very positive and very negative at the same time. Where it's like the constant like comparing of like achievements and stuff was like not helpful.
Yeah.
But also seeing that the stuff that she could achieve was good for me because it like taught me that I could also like achieve those things.
It like
too.
pushed you in a way.
Yeah.
It really be within the family.
I feel like it's very common
Okay.
with like Asian families though a lot.
Yeah.
Which was like also
You'd be
part
surprised.
of the reason that like my parents moved here. Because I remember them telling me that like another reason why they wanted to move to America, not just for like the financial reasons, was because like our family in the Philippines, like they're very I don't know what the term is, but like the parents specifically, like they compare their kids to each other's achievements all the time. And they wanted to get away from that. Like they didn't want to like basically try to like glow or
Having
like,
to one up them.
yeah, like basically like show us off as like trophies, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so
yeah.
that you mentioned that though, because it's also, at least in my experience, it's the same, at least in El Salvador too. Where it's like, oh, if you're like a child isn't working at least like a clothing department job, like you aren't doing anything in life. Fast food is looked down upon considering the amount of people that walk in and out of those places and they still leave them literally sparkling clean. Like McDonald's here got nothing on the McDonald's back home. Like that's how clean it is. Like
No, because literally
grime or gunk on the floor. Like
Yes.
it's sparkling.
I'd be anywhere like outside of America, and it's like so much cleaner for real.
And it's because these
Like,
people
the
are
seven-
really putting their all into those jobs. 'Cause it's like that's literally their day to day.
And like their 7-Eleven like in Thailand is so much cleaner and is actually like kind of like a convenience store instead of just like a dirty old
Instead of
gas
just, like,
station.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the random crackheads around the corner.
Right, dude. The homeless people here are kind of mean too. Okay, we're gonna do present because I feel like we did discuss a lot.
So the next question was, what are your good habits? I feel like lately I've been better at like taking care of my hair. Like, so I've been following the advice that you're only supposed to wash your hair like once or twice a week, because that's what I hear everywhere on the internet. But I talked to my friends about how oily my hair gets, and they told me like, oh girl, like you're supposed to wash your hair every day. Like Asian hair is a lot different than other types of hair. And they also wash their hair every day. So I was like, how do y'all like get your hair to stay like so healthy? They're like, wash it every day. But I always heard that it dries it out or like damages your hair and your scalp if you wash it every day. But apparently like you're supposed to wash it every day and it won't damage it. It actually like helps.
I don't know actually. I don't think I have any good habits.
I feel like you're very good at like sleeping, going to bed.
sleeping.
I don't know about that because I still be texting Gray at like 3 a.m.
No,
I'm
literally,
dead.
literally, I'll get notifications from like past midnight, and I'll be like, "What the heck? Why'd she
I'm
Why'd
dead.
she say she go to bed
No,
early
that's
tonight?"
I know, because she's always
No.
like, okay, guys, I gotta go to bed. And then that's when we stop.
No, and it's
usually.
very rare to times I actually do fall asleep on time because as soon as I like do my whole nighttime routine and everything, I can't sleep anymore.
I'm dead.
I'm like, okay, what do I do now? So I'm like, okay, let me just go on like Instagram or something or like fall asleep to like a reel or whatnot, you know, like doom scrolling. And then it doesn't even turn into like doom scrolling to the point where you want to sleep. It turns into doom scrolling where it's like, damn, I can't stop watching these videos. They're so funny.
Now you're in like a rabbit hole.
Yeah. So it's like, when do I sleep? Dang,
I need better sleep hygiene.
hygiene.
Sleep hygiene. Like sleeping, like, I don't know. It's called sleep hygiene. Basically, like your sleep routine stuff. healthy
Ah,
sleep routine.
okay, I got you. I don't know, to be honest. Like, that sounds like a bad thing to say, but I don't know if I actually do have any good habits. I probably do, but it's just not coming to mind because all I think about is like the bad.
I know, for real, it is hard to think about the good stuff, but that's why these questions are here. You're supposed to love yourself.
Well, they're making it a little hard right now. No, just kidding.
Well, maybe this is a realization that you should start good habits.
Dang.
I like that takeaway.
Clocked me with that.
I want to start going to the gym more consistently.
Well, I do tend to not let my emotion like take over when I'm at work, because even at the freaking warehouse job that I hated, I didn't let it like impact my work, if that makes sense. I'm very good
Yeah.
at separating my like personal with my work, and I feel like not a lot of people know how to do that. Because it's like, you know, obviously if you aren't in a good mood, the work isn't gonna come out good or right or whatnot.
Right.
And I was working, it was like if someone was in a bad mood, it was now the person who had to do their stuff after, it was now their problem.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, because I was in a leadership position, I knew I couldn't let my emotion impact what I was doing, because I still had a team to help and a team to run. I couldn't, like, if I was mad, I can't take that out on them, because I still want them to feel okay and not feel like they're scared of me or anything.
Yeah.
And now I am working a different job now, which honestly does feel a lot more better, at least for my health, because now it's like, because of my POTS, if I were to get just dizzy at my last job, I would get like scolded for like sitting down for like a split second just to feel a little bit better. Now it's like here, they're like, if you don't feel good, you know, just chill for a moment, and then like once you feel good, like get back to work, obviously, because I'm not gonna slack off the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's insane. That job that you had for like 2 days was insane.
Girl, it was a whole week.
A whole
That
week,
was-
you're right. But it was like the 2 days that you were like standing, or was it a whole week that you were standing outside?
A whole week,
You were standing outside for a whole week?
basically, yeah.
God damn.
And then our lunch breaks at that job, though. Honestly, I was referring to like my warehouse job, but that job too, I honestly pushed that out of my head because it was just so bad.
For real. I forgot how long you were even in that job.
I
It was so
haven't.
short.
Mad about it though. Because why would you phrase it like it's gonna be an office job and then acknowledge that someone has a disability? And then
be
the
mad
whole,
that they're
the
disabled.
whole, like a whole 180. I was
Yeah. That's
like, I think I was
insane.
talking about this with you the other day too. Like sometimes I swear I like think my body's making up the fact that I'm like disabled or whatnot, and then something happens and then I'm reminded of it and I'm like, oh no, I am actually.
Yes. Yeah, you told me about that.
It's not like a condition you can tell. Like if you look at me, you can't tell. Which sounds wrong to like say. Like I'm not trying to make it seem like, oh, all disabilities have to be seen. But most disabilities, like what people stereotypically see, they'll be like, oh, like that person obviously isn't like able-bodied or something, like they have something wrong, so they need like these things to help them. Meanwhile, if you look at me, it's like, girl, what you mean you won't pass out? Just keep walking. Which is so crazy because it's like, I kind of do need the assistance at time, but I know how it also looks. Seeing that I have all 4 of my limbs working perfectly fine. And I don't have any visible like injuries or whatnot. But like I still feel bad because I feel like I don't look like what someone would think of as disabled.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't realize that like most disabilities are invisible. It
But
reminds me of those stories where like those disabled people, like if they're not an amputee and someone sees like you parked in
see
a
them like trying to
disability
get, like,
thing.
Yes.
And then they get
that
mad. They're like, "Oh, you're faking it or something."
I'm like, okay, bet. You want to bet that I'm faking it?
Right. Like,
Unfortunately, I would get like that though. I would be like, you want to bet?
yeah,
No,
but I don't
but-
know.
But
I
like back
feel
to what I was saying, I do separate my personal from my work. I don't like having it mixed up. I don't like thinking about work outside of my like during my personal life, and I don't like thinking about my personal life at work.
Yeah.
Because it's like I don't want to stress myself with both things, and I want to keep them as separate as possible.
Right. Right.
And I feel that's where I also got that habit of separating my emotions from work and my personal
Yeah.
life. So
Which
yeah,
is
I guess I
good,
do have a good habit.
especially if you're in like a high stress job. It's a good habit to keep that.
That or having to deal with people who I swear have no common sense.
Yes.
We won't talk about that though. That's for a whole different day. Okay, great. What are your good habits?
What the fuck?
Ciao. Anyways.
I feel like I've been getting better at like not sleeping the whole day. Like I usually am awake before like 9 or 10. Unless I was really tired the day before, but I feel like I used to sleep until like 2 p.m. in the morning. But I'm getting better at like waking up early every day. Even if I have nothing to do that day. And then I get more sunshine and it makes me like less sad, you know?
Ray, did you go mining?
Yeah. Why?
Because I want to come along.
No.
Oh! See, Gray is very good at not people pleasing.
Wait, that's a good habit to have though.
Exactly. I'm still working on mine. It's hard when people be trying to make you feel guilty. And now it's like
Yeah.
at my job right now, because I do have to talk to like tenants and whatnot, it's like I have to be stern with them where it's like, look, I can't like approve any sort of like you trying to pay like a whole different day, like we need it now.
Yeah.
Or you are at risk for an eviction because this is like your second or third notice.
Oh my goodness.
That's crazy.
You'd be surprised. I had someone hang up on me like earlier today because all I said was my name and then where I'm calling from. And I was like, oh, so they know it's me. They just don't want to pay. And I'm like, okay, well, that's on you then. I mean, I can't do anything about that. It's not my fault. Really. I did what I had to
Right.
do. I let you know what was going to happen. You failed to keep up with that. And you also literally declined my call when I could have literally given you information on what to do. Okay, no, for real, Gray. What is your good habit?
I don't know. That I'm on time to every D&D session? Girl, I don't know.
Oh,
Okay,
I think you're
punctuality.
very good at feeding yourself.
Oh.
That is true. You always make sure you
You-
got food for yourself.
For
You know
real,
what? She
you're
ain't
always
wrong
like,
about that.
you're always like, I'm gonna order food for myself. I'm hungry. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not calling you a big bag. That is not what I'm trying to say.
So when I was literally about to say that, I was like, okay, them calling me a bit bad.
No, because some people like would just like starve instead of like
Oh.
get themselves foods.
Unfortunately, I am one of those people.
She is.
Me too. I'd be so lazy.
I'm just like, do I really want to? Like, nah.
Right. Like I'm hungry right now, but I don't want to get up.
Oh.
Girl, go get up.
No, I feel nauseous.
Take, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Why were
I'm not a doctor in my
What-
family. I don't know. It was like my motherly instincts.
How do you calm your fears?
I don't. I accept them.
I guess acceptance is a way to calm them.
That is true. True. I shake my leg really aggressively. If I'm just scared, I'm just scared, and that's it.
I'm
And
dead.
at that point, I
think
can't
that's
do anything.
acceptance.
Oh. Okay, then yeah, acceptance, like...
I'm dead. I feel like I do like breathing exercises, low-key.
okay.
And then I also like try to
Ricki, I'm coming
get
up.
out of my head because I feel like I always envision the worst case scenario, literally out of everything.
I think that's such like an easy
And
thing to do.
huh?
I feel like that's such an easy thing to do is to like imagine the worst.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like rephrase my mind to like think realistically and also like gather like actual tangible evidence on how that could happen, which usually the case is like really outrageous. So that kind of like it kind of grounds me a bit. So I try to be more realistic and less delusional.
Thank you
take him
guys
up
so much
again
for
and work
joining
tomorrow.
us.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. I'm glad y'all tuned in for another video.